Rock and roll! Oh yeah!
That was Seabass on the guitar, rocking out.
Yeah.
I was headbanging.
Don't headbang too hard now.
Josh was singing lead vocals on that song.
No,
you could sing? Huh. No, wait a minute. What was he doing? What was T-Bone doing?
He was playing drums. Yeah,
Oh.
slapping the bass.
Triangle.
Okay.
That's what I was doing.
That's the best instrument right there, the triangle.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Takes
Can't
a lot to
underestimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're live, rocking and rolling, podcasting, right?
Yep.
All right.
We are here. How is everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing really good.
Swell.
You're looking good too, man. The hair is looking fresh.
Oh, I'm trying my best. I got pizza, baby. I'm feeling real good.
What kind of pizza?
Cousin Vinny's. The Tuesday specials
Cousin
are actually really good.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yes.
I do
Cousin
love
Vinny's
it.
is really good. And then, of course, Josh, how is the wrestling life doing?
It's interesting times in wrestling. We have a new world champion after last night. That's
I saw that.
Hold on.
It's going to be an interesting road to WrestleMania this year. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
it is.
It's been very interesting the past 2 weeks.
I can't believe what happened when The Miz took the championship from Drew McIntyre. I was like, well, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
And now he's already lost it, so you never know
That's
what's
what
going to happen.
It's like, wow.
Bobby Lashley, yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley.
He's
I love
still
Bobby
wrestling.
Lashley. Yep, he's still wrestling. That guy has not aged.
Is he? So I haven't kept up with wrestling in a while, but I remember he started on the ECW. I think he was started on. And, is he still on there? Or is he on SmackDown?
He's on Raw.
He's on Raw right now.
Oh, he's
And
on
I got to
Raw.
address Chuck. Shut the hell up. Nothing's wrong with Lashley. I'll deal with you Thursday. Lashley's fantastic.
Who we all got?
Lashley's cool.
We got Wayne Greenway. Governor Dickhead.
Let's see.
Man, we can't wait to come back there. That place is so awesome. I love House Blues in Cleveland.
Apparently, Angie said that there's no Cousin Vinny's. I am sorry.
Bummer. What's up, Angie? North Carolina, man. I wish I was in North Carolina. It's nice and warm out there.
Yeah. We also got Denise Clark.
Denise, I think she's down in Gatlinburg.
Okay.
So,
Hey guys.
Jesus Christ.
and well, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned the wrestling stuff for later. But let's move on to the next topic here. Nikki, what are we doing? What are we talking about here, man? What's going on?
Oh, I think we're going to talk rock and roll movies.
Movies.
Rock and roll movies. So, real quick, Denise is the next. She's the next one throwing a private acoustic rock and roll party with us, which we're really excited about. We did that with Vicky and Russ down in Louisville. We did a live stream with them, and we really didn't know what to expect, but I actually had a lot of fun doing that. And wasn't that cool?
Yeah, we did some stuff on there. Like I didn't even expect we could actually do acoustically, which is
right. We
could do anything, of course. But
what was cool about it was it was like, just basically like rehearsal. Like we're just hanging out, just jamming, and there just happens to be other people on the other side of the camera that can communicate with us. So when we started, playing something bad, they were like, this sucks. No, they never did that.
Right.
Thank God.
It was all Nikki's fault. Just saying.
Oh, that's true.
It's always Nikki's fault.
If there was
Always Nikki's
anything
fault.
good that happened, it was Jack.
It really was his fault.
Good job, Jack.
You're awesome, Jack. No, that's all Jack needs to do.
Yeah, he
in his
ripped
presence.
all his bass strings out. Yeah, they were laying on my
wow.
floor.
He straight up ripped them out.
Yeah.
The only thing Jack really needs to do here is just sit there and look cool and just strum his bass looking like a badass, and he'll just say, "Yep," and walk away.
Yep.
That's all he needs to do.
But Denise is our next contestant, I guess. We're doing that with her March 20th, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, if anyone's interested in booking a private acoustic, it's kind of like this. Basically, the band's on a screen and you're on the other screen. We talk back and forth and we play some acoustic songs that you pick, and it's a good time. There's a link on our website under the news section. Not trying to be all addy, just not trying to be Gene Simmons here, but I've seen them pop up here, and I just wanted to give them a shout out. So
cool.
Also, we just had something really cool happen. We just got signed to a talent agency.
Yes, tell us more about that.
The Empire Agency out in Los Angeles, California. Checked out our stuff, checked out the numbers from our shows, and really liked what they seen. So they offered us a deal to start booking us pretty much all over. So we're looking forward to seeing what that looks like. Hopefully it'll make for a very exciting summer and fall, and hopefully future in general. So pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, on my end, something interesting happened to me as well. I did my first live podcast. You know, I'm more of the guy doing all the recording shows and all that. But my first live podcast went pretty well, and I interviewed a bass player from a local band that's from here. Actually, they're called the Wonderlands.
Cool.
They're a little different band, they're not like 80s or 70s rock or anything, but I've known the guy for a long time, so I figure I help him out and support him. And it's got a lot of good reviews. So to the people that did tune in from the Arena Rock Show side, thank you for tuning in. That really made my night. So yeah, thank you very much. And hopefully I'll make more live shows.
Yeah,
that went really well.
Yeah, where can people find that at?
They could just go right on Rockin' with Seabass, ROCKINSEEBASS.
Or
you can go
Rockin' Seabass.
Yep, that's my page. Or you can go on Twitter and look me up. It's Sebastian McRae.
Very cool. Very cool.
I was thinking of sharing it to the Arena page, but then I figured, nah. Let's not get ahead of myself.
That's cool. Well, very cool, man. Congratulations on that.
Oh yes, definitely. Anyway, yeah, and you two are welcome to come by so I can interview you two, even though I've talked to you so many times.
Yeah, I would love to.
But on the side note, is there any other things that we need to talk about? Any concerts, upcoming shows?
I don't. For us, it's gonna be a while. I think it's June or May 22nd. We're playing in Hartford City, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh,
it broke
nice.
my heart because that's my birthday, and it didn't say JD Legends by May 22nd. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Well,
it looks like you're traveling for your birthday.
Well, how about this, guys? May 2nd, I'm going to go see Fozzy because so far it does seem like it's still going to happen.
Where's that
with me? That's going to be at Newport, Ohio. And I bought a VIP. I don't know how this is going to work with everything with the COVID, but I'm supposed to meet Chris Jericho. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to go see Fozzy and I'm going to shake his hand. I'm going to say, your music's awesome. You are cool, and I just want to tell you something straight from the heart, man. What? I've always hated you since I was a kid.
Chris, I feel like Chris Jericho and I would be best friends. He's like Chris, into all the same stuff. Kiss.
He is.
He's in a rock band. He podcasts. He's a wrestler. Like, literally would be my best friend.
He's a talented guy. I respect him a lot. And
very smart. Yeah.
He actually is one of my favorite wrestlers, but I had to say I hate him because he's a heel.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. Anything going on with you, Josh? Anything new? Anything new with the buzz?
We got an interview tomorrow. So it's kind of a up and coming guy. His name's Jason Dugan. He's the ARW Rapid Fire champion. So if you guys ever watched Impact or heard of the X Division, which is kind of like the new age cruiserweight, he's had this belt for almost 1,000 days. So he's had it for about 3 years now. He's coming on tomorrow. And then next Wednesday at 7, if you guys remember Just Incredible from ECW.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to interview him at 7 o'clock. talk about his ECW days and what he's up to now. I think he's into training and stuff nowadays, kind of helping the younger people. But yeah, pretty excited to get some interviews. A lot of people's been kind of down because of COVID. It's been hard to kind of get Vince don't let any of the WWE talent interview anywhere. So it's hard to get interviews with wrestlers right now. So pretty excited about that.
That's weird. Well, did he reach out to you guys or did you guys contact him?
Both of them reached out to us. So that was kind of cool.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome that you guys are going to interview him. Let me know. I want to watch that.
Tomorrow at 7.
Right here on the Buzz website on Facebook. Cool.
And then, the next Wednesday, the same. It'll be 7 o'clock on the Buzz Facebook as well.
Awesome. Very cool. You guys ready to talk rock and roll movies or what?
Yeah, let's stop rambling on about stuff. Let's talk about movies.
All right, cool. So what we're gonna do? Josh had this really cool idea. He texted me the other day, and it's kind of one of these episodes where we're like, we don't know what the heck we're gonna do. And he was like, so the Golden Globes, is that what it is that's coming up?
Yeah, that was Sunday night.
It was Sunday night. Okay. So he was like talking. He thought it'd be kind of cool to do like an episode on rock and roll movies and like best documentary, best biopics, best actor and actress. That is a rock star that played in movies, and also we're going to do a top 5 of our favorite rock and roll movies, fictional movies. So basically ones that aren't based on true stories. Those will go into our discussion afterwards. So the only rule here is they have to be fictional and they have to be related to rock and roll in some way, shape, or form, or music. So who wants to go first with their top 5 favorite rock and roll movies?
Nose goes.
Everybody's so excited.
Nobody wants to go first.
I'll do it. All right.
Nikki's gonna go first. All right.
Since we won the champions,
Zero.
Since we won the trivia, stuff, you guys have to go first.
All right, I got this. All right, starting at number 5, I'm going with Airheads. If you remember, that's the band that Adam Sandler, Brendan Fraser, and I can't remember the bass player's name, but they basically hold a radio station hostage so that they will play their single on the air. And it turns into this big ordeal, and it's quite the movie. What are they called? The something
I can't remember.
What's that band called? I'm gonna have to look this up because it's gonna tick me off. But they're called like the something Bandits or Lone Rangers. There it is.
Oh yeah, Lone Rangers. Okay.
Yeah, they. Oh man, actually, the song that they had was actually pretty cool. And then I think if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it, but this might be ruining it. They ended up getting caught and going to jail, and then they're playing in jail. It's pretty funny. A pretty funny movie. It's what's that? Adam Sandler's like a pool boy, and
anything with Adam Sandler funny probably because it's Adam Sandler. Come on,
Adam Sandler's awesome. And then so that's number 5. Number 4, I'm going with A Star Is Born. Modern movie, but it's based off of it's a remake of an old movie. Right. I've only seen the remake. Lady Gaga pulls off an amazing performance in that. Gave me a whole new respect for her. I like her in general, her stage show and stuff like that. But her acting skills and the the whole role she played in that movie and the songs that she wrote for it were great. And that story is really good. It's really powerful and sad at the end, but I do like that movie a lot. And so yeah, number 4. Number 3, Wayne's World. Party time.
Excellent. Now for an epic close-up, Whoa! Whoa! Boy,
Oh yeah, doesn't get much better than them two, right?
classic. We're not. Hey, tell me something. We're not worthy to talk about this movie.
Right. We're not worthy.
We're not worthy.
Yeah, that's definitely probably my favorite scene is when they go backstage for Alice Cooper and they start talking about what are they talking about? Like Milwaukee?
Yeah, they were talking about Milwaukee and how it was an Indian's name and it stand for Algonquin for the Great Land. And then Wayne's all like, "Does this guy know how to party or what? Huh?" And the band's kind of looking at him like, "No."
Yeah, game on.
No, it's funny though, in that random scene is where they're outside and like, "Whoa, we took a wrong turn." It's like, "Hey, is this Alice's limo?" And then I forget his name, but he makes that, I can't remember his name, but the security guy was like, "No, it belongs to Frank Sharp, head of the Sharp Industry, good friend of Alice." And he starts giving all this random information that's like so unnecessary.
Right. Who was that? That's a famous actor that.
Yeah, it was. I can't think of his name right now.
The security guard?
Yeah, he's the security guard.
He's the guy that's like, he's over here.
Here.
Chris
Like,
Farley.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Good,
So,
great actor. That was a good classic movie.
Yeah, I love Wayne's World. Number 2, I'm going with This Is Spinal Tap.
Yes.
If you're in a band, you've probably definitely seen it, and you've probably lived half of the things that happen in that movie. Such a great parody on rock and roll and being in a touring band or a concert band or whatever. The quotes from that are endless. With this one goes to 11.
That scene.
Hello, Cleveland.
Hello, Cleveland.
We actually did that in Cleveland.
We did.
that in Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah, we reenacted that. Getting lost behind the stage.
What, did you guys actually like go behind the stage and say hello, Cleveland? The crowd was like, "What?"
Well, we were actually in Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
But, we were just like going. We just recorded a video of it. It's somewhere on Facebook or probably YouTube too, where we're just walking around the backstage and we're lost and we're trying to find our way to the stage and we're like, "Hello, Cleveland."
That kind of reminds. It kind of reminds me of the time when we went to go. Me and T-Bone went to go see Great White, and Jack Russell's band got lost behind the stage. Am I correct? And your mom had to go
lost behind that stage.
Apparently, his mother had to escort the band back to the stage.
Oh my gosh!
Poor guys. It's like, well, Spinal Tap moment on that one.
He got lost, so he was like on the side of the building, like on the opposite side of where the stage is, and he started wandering into the bowling alley, apparently. And then he's like, "What is the stage? I didn't see this." Going off what me mom's word was, but she said the guy was completely lost and didn't know where to go.
Poor guy.
He was really lost. I saw him walk by the bar, and I was like, "That was Jack Russell."
Yep, that was Jack Russell.
He looks like he's on a different planet right now.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good show, though. He sounded amazing.
He did do good. I thought he did very good.
He sounded amazing. I give him props.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's number 1, Mr. Sar?
Number 1 is my favorite rock and roll movie ever.
Yes.
Rockstar. I actually remember I went and seen it in theaters, and I remember because me and my dad went to a Bengals game, and we were coming home, and I guess he must have found out when the showings were, and we were passing that movie theater at that exact time to get there. So we pulled over, we went and seen it, and that was September 9th, 2001. Only reason I remember that is because 2 days later, the world changed.
Oh, yes.
And I think that might be why this movie doesn't get as much attention as it deserves. It's a fantastic movie.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing the commercials. I was watching VH1, and I remember seeing the commercials for it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this looks like the most perfect movie for me." And went and seen it, and I love it. I mean, I used to watch this movie like every night before bed. So much that I watched it about a week ago with my wife, and I was literally reciting the whole movie, and she's like, "Are you going to do this the whole movie? Because if it is, I'm going upstairs."
It's like
I can literally recite that entire movie. It's just I've loved everything about it. When I was a kid, like all that stuff is what I dreamed of. You know, when you're younger, some people dream of being a maybe a sports player or a fireman or a doctor or whatever. I always dreamed of being a rock star. So that and rock and roll movies in general were like always a really big thing for me that I just, fell in love with. So that movie is priceless. Steel Dragon has amazing music. I actually made like my own little Steel Dragon CD back in the day when you could actually make your own like CDs, stamp the labels on them and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I actually made a cover for it, called it Lubricator, because that's the name of their album.
Lubricator
in the movie, and that movie is movie's one of my favorites, and just all around good film. The only thing I don't like about it is at the end, they kind of like. It kind of like turns into like grunge or whatever.
It goes to the grunge days because he cut his hair and everything.
Yeah, I mean that's a good song. It's a really good ending with him hooking back up with Jennifer Aniston or whatever. But
Jennifer Aniston, man, she's so hot. Sorry.
But yeah, so there's my top 5, man. That's my 5 favorite rock and roll movies. At least the first 5 I could come up with within the last hour.
In the last hour. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
I knew what number 1 was. I just had to figure out the rest.
Well, who's next?
I'll go next.
All right, Mr. Josh, go for it.
All right. So this changed within the last half hour because I saw Nikki's list and I completely forgot about A Star Is Born.
Oh, yeah.
When I was looking over these the other night, I was like, I could probably pick 5 of any of these 30. So it was like picking 5 was kind of tough. But Star Is Born is definitely up there. Kind of like Nikki, a whole new appreciation for Lady Gaga after this. I'm not as big of a fan of her music as most people. I mean, I have a younger sister, so she's a huge Lady Gaga fan. So that's why I'm not a big fan, because I've heard it 1,000 times over. But her performance in this, and I love Shallow with her and Bradley Cooper. I mean, that's one of those songs that's going to live on forever. Mm-hmm. Very good movie, very sad movie at the end, especially, but had to put that on there. School of Rock.
Before you move on, do you remember at the beginning they drive past? So when I seen it in theaters, this is the first thing I noticed. I was like, that doesn't add up. Something's going to happen here. They drive past this like billboard and it's got nooses on it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? Yeah. There's a little bit of foreshadowing, I guess. And I seen that, and I was like, oh, something's going to happen at the end.
At the end, the first time I watched it was at my parents' house with my mom, and she tears up and she starts crying.
I have to turn it off at the end.
She cries during everything. Yeah. But he puts the dog outside, and I was like, oh, God, I know it's going to happen. I was like, very good movie, very sad ending, but Cooper and Gaga were amazing in this. I was very impressed by Bradley Cooper because he's known as like this big-time actor, and he's a very good singer vocally. I mean, he put a lot of effort into that too. Yeah. So I was very impressed. School of Rock. So I hadn't seen this in a while. I forget how old this movie is, but I was young when I watched this for the first time. Jack Black, very good. Jack Black was very, very funny. I think people forget how funny he was because he doesn't do much anymore. I know the what's that one movie with The Rock that he was in? Jumanji. I think that's kind of the last thing I've seen with him. Very good movie. Wayne's World, ain't much. I can watch it with my dad when I was younger. This was like his go-to movie. Not much else I can throw into what you guys talked about earlier, but very good. Was very happy to see them on a Super Bowl commercial. The Super Bowl commercials were awful, except for this one. I loved this one, and throwing in Cardi B, which makes 0 sense why she'd be hanging out with him, was just humorous to me.
Well, what's funny about that commercial was just how well they were like, yeah, we'll never manipulate you. We don't do things like that. and bring in a cameo appearance of a celebrity, brings in Cardi B, Eat Loco, and I'm like, what is this? This is stupid.
It was very humorous, and the commercials this year were pretty bad. I know a lot of people backed out because of COVID, and they didn't want to pay millions of dollars for a 10-second spot this year when stuff's been rough. But that was the one bright commercial to me. But great movie. Get him to the Greek. So
Russell Brand.
I've seen this one way too many times to where I know like all of Infant Sorrow's songs off their soundtrack. So it's like Russell Brand as like a rock star that they're trying to get to the Greek theater from London, but he won't stop partying. And this is Fat Jonah Hill trying to drag him there because he does different.
That's right.
Jonah Hill, medium-sized Jonah Hill. And this is before he lost all the weight. So like Diddy's like the manager or the his boss, right, at the record label.
His don't remember.
To the Greek theater. Sober, so like he takes him to the Today Show and he starts doing like Russell Brand's just completely out of control. He plays Aldous Snow, so this is a like a part 2 from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's every time I watch it, I still die laughing there at the end when they smoke the Jeffrey and they're all tripping out and Jonah Hill thinks he's having a heart attack. Very comical movie. And,
I think my favorite scene from that movie, I don't know why, but it's the part where he's like, I think he's going to die. No, he ain't going to die. He's an old man. Yeah. Have you seen Led Zeppelin? Led Zeppelin, old dude.
Because he's like, he has a deadbeat dad that kind of abandoned him when he was younger. And when he became a rock star, he tried to take some of his money. So he meets up with his dad at the end. If you guys have a free, 2 hours, it's a pretty comical movie.
Yeah,
I don't know where it streams at anymore, but it's pretty old at this point.
It's
number one's Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages, that's a good one.
I've seen Rock of Ages. I've seen it 15 times in movie theaters. And I kept track.
No way.
One of those things, like, none of my friends will be smart enough to, like, we're not smart enough to all go to a movie at once. So, like, I'll go see a movie with 10 of them individually instead of everybody just go one time. It's worse when it comes to Marvel. I saw Endgame like 12 times. It's like, dude, if I ever watch Marvel again, I'm done. Because they're 4 hours. Dude, those are rough. I'm a Spider-Man guy. I was very happy he came back to life. But cried all 12 times. But anyway, Rock of Ages, Tom Cruise. My buddy got me this movie poster in a frame that's like signed by Tom Cruise for my birthday like 5 or 6 years ago, which was pretty bad. It's hidden in my apartment. I won't tell anybody where it's at. But
I wouldn't.
Big fan of Tom Cruise in this movie. I really appreciate the fact that he reached out to all the bands, all the lead vocalists of all the people that were in this movie to kind of, he wasn't going to sing a song that he was going to butcher. Like he took pride in everything he did. Julian Hugh was very, very good. Yeah. I really like the soundtrack. The mashup of classic songs they put together, I thought was very clever. There's so many. Jukebox Hero, I Love Rock and Roll, Sister Christian, Tom Cruise's Paradise City was very good. So like the whole movie, it's like Nikki said he is with Rockstar. I sit here and I'll sing along to the whole thing and people won't watch it with me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you sing, but easily my favorite. It's in my PS3. It's one of those things where it's like, I can't sleep. I just kind of put it on. And then eventually.
I think it's in mine right now, too, honestly, because I watched it in my PS3.
I have like 5 different things hooked up to my TV. It's on like auxiliary 3. It's like, well, if I need to watch a movie, I'll just turn that on and watch it. But so yeah, that was my top 5.
Nice.
Do you have the extended edition of that? Have you seen that?
I do. Yes.
There's some stuff in there that's pretty comical. Some of the extra stuff they added in there.
Yeah, it is. I like it when he goes solo with forget the manager's name, and he joins the boy band and he starts singing like pop music. It's like the worst. And I've listened to Justin Bieber. It's worse than him. This is the worst music I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, the Z Guys. Very good movie. It was voted like the worst movie of 2009 or something. Which
I remember that. I remember the critics really bashing on it. I was like, really?
I don't understand it. I think it's because the cast was so star-studded. They had like, I don't know what expectations they had for it, but I thought it was pretty good. Enough to see it 15 times in theaters and pay for it. But
dang.
There was a cool scene in that movie where they're doing We built this city on rock and roll, and they did that song, and they did "We're Not Gonna Take It." They kind of medleyed the two.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did that.
There's one shot in that, or a couple frames they've got of it, where they actually show a couple actual rock singers in there. Sebastian Bach, the Skid Row, was in there, and then they had like Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon, which was really cool. And a couple of rockers in there.
I've only seen that movie once. I need to give it another shot.
It's fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah,
I saw the movie once as well. I mean, I loved it. I had nothing against it. I thought it was a pretty good musical for what it was. I mean, it had Tom Cruise in it. I was saying, I love Tom Cruise.
And I was like, man, he's in a movie that's not Mission Impossible. I must see this. Because
Exactly.
It was Jack Reacher or Mission Impossible. I was like, do something else, please. And then he did this. And I was like, dude, this is way out of his wheelhouse. And I thought he did really well.
Oh, yeah. I think he did, too. He made a
Can't
good
wait for
rock and roll lead singer.
Can't wait for Top Gun 2, right? Hopefully.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
It might be good.
Yeah, if it comes out.
Who's
well,
next?
okay. Who's next? Yes.
So
All right,
it's you or
Seabass, it's me or you. Forget this. I'll go.
Okay.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my top 5. Number 5. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, that I put Wayne's World 2. I'm going to get a lot of hate because I put Wayne's World 2 over 1. Come on, the jokes in Wayne's World 2. I mean, there's more quotable lines. Right, Waynestock. Come on now.
Aerosmith.
Get that.
I mean,
Naked
I
Indian.
think there's more quotable lines. There's more quotable lines in the first one, but the second one has that one roadie guy that's like, "Did you find it only peculiar that Indian was not wearing anything an undergarment or something like that?" And then they see Jim Morrison in the desert, and the whole premise of the film is they have to put on a giant Woodstock-like concert because Jim Morrison, in a dream of theirs,
told him to
do that. And they had Kim Basinger, so
yes,
that's a plus for me. The same. They had Kim Basinger in there, and that one scene with Garth where she's just like, "Take me, Garth," and he's like, "To where? It's cool."
Yeah.
You don't have a joke.
She's like, "You got any music?" Or he said, she's like, "Put some music on." He's like, "Got any Megadeth?"
that's right. Got any Megadeth?
I love that one, and they do a little parody of the Graduate where he goes to the wedding and stuff, and he's like, "Cassandra."
Yeah.
You book them, they will.
Good one, Brittany.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim.
I also like the fact that they go into a club and they sing YMCA for absolutely no reason.
But, yeah, that was my number 5.
All
Number
right.
4.
Zang.
I gotta put Rockstar in there as well because Mark Wahlberg did a phenomenal job, and like the songs in there. Did Nikki, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Steelheart do most of the music for him, or like the singer from Steelheart?
Yeah, Mike, whatever his last name is, sang some of that, and so did Jeff Scott Soto, if you know who that is.
The guy who did the singing towards the end of the film did some stuff with Slash.
Oh, Miles Kennedy. Yeah, Miles Kennedy
is
at the end of that. When he pulls that last guy up on stage and he's like, "What's your name, man?" "Thor, because I'm got a thunder." And he finishes out the show. Yeah, that's Miles Kennedy from Alter Bridge and Slash. There's a lot of famous rock stars in there. There's Jason, Jeff Pilson,
Zach Wilde.
Zach Wilde. The main guitar player in the main band is actually a guitar player from like a modern band, it's like Third Eye Blind or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then in the tribute band, the Steel Dragon tribute band, Blood Pollution, Blas Elias is in that band. He's the drummer from Slaughter. I think he's the only famous guy that was in the tribute band, but I could be wrong. At least 80s famous. But yeah, so yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, the tracks in there were phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal.
Stand Up and Shout.
Yeah, Sammy Hagar wrote that. Stand Up and Shout.
Really?
Yeah. And if you are watching the movie, they go into Kirk Cuddy's house. It's that big mansion, and Jennifer Aniston's looking on the wall, and she's like, "Sammy!" And there's a picture of Sammy Hagar and like the main guitar player on the wall. And I think that's a reference to the fact that he wrote that song. You can actually hear his version of the song. He recorded it for one of his albums, Stand Up and Shout. It's slower, it's not as good. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I did not know that.
I did not know either. More you know.
The more you know.
More you know. Number 3.
Number 3, yes. Because it's got the pick of Destiny Child. Let me tell you. I don't care. I really don't care if I get hate for this, because Tenacious D is one of the funniest films ever. I swear. The first time I watched it, I did not get it whatsoever. I'm like, these dudes are just dropping the F-bomb every couple of seconds. Second time I watched it, it was the funniest thing ever. This kid, he grows up in a harmonies. He just starts playing some like vulgar music right in front of his parents, and his dad happens to be Meatloaf.
Yeah, Meatloaf.
Yeah.
He gets thrown into his room, and then he starts praying to a poster of Dio. Dio, can you hear me? Like, where do they come up with this stuff? It's too good. And honestly, Tenacious D music, Nikki, we've had a conversation about this actually in one of our practices.
Yeah.
That Tenacious D actually has really good music, and they're very good performers. And it's very entertaining. And if you can't get down with Master Exploder, you don't know what's up.
Don't know.
The way that they do their songs is actually really amazing. Like if you turn on one of their CDs, which we did the other night, and you just listen to like the comedy that's going on, it's like, how did they do this? Like, and have all the music synced up and everything. It's like that. They're talented. They really are.
But yeah, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. And kills me is these guys were so dead set on getting the Pick of Destiny, which is apparently the Devil's Tooth. They had to break into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to steal this guitar pick that is the Devil's Tooth. And apparently all these famous guitarists played with it, like Eddie Van Halen, Angus Young, and so many others. The premise of the film cracks me up. It's meant to be ridiculous, but it's hilarious. I love it. That's one of my favorite parts.
No, who was the devil? The devil was Dave Grohl, right?
Dave Grohl.
That's right. I thought so. Dave Grohl was the devil. It's like, wow, who knew that Dave Grohl was the devil?
Oh, that's so messed up. Well, I could go on about Tenacious D all day because I'm obsessed with the music, because I find it very hilarious. And it puts me in a good mood.
Yeah.
Always good.
It's fun to listen to.
Number 2, all right, so we can move on with my list. I have to agree with Josh DeBord on this one. Rook of Ages, simply spectacular. Tom Cruise does a phenomenal job and he actually does the singing for this film. Like, and I'm like, so first hearing about the film, I'm like, oh, Tom Cruise does the singing. I'm like, well, he's not a singer. I mean, I'll give it a try. I'm not expecting much. And then I go in and actually watch it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't even like musicals that much, like as films.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, it actually brought me into the musical genre, actually kind of appreciating them a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's rock music, but they did so well with it that it kind of gave me an appreciation for that genre. So I branched out to watching like other musicals and stuff, and actually started enjoying them, which takes a lot. It took a lot for me, but Rock of Ages made it really easy for me because that film, like, played all the songs I listened to like every day, and the acting was phenomenal. Their medleys they did in that film,
Yeah.
like, so good, so good. I especially love the one they do. They do a medley of Heaven by Warrant and More Than Words by Extreme.
Yep.
They mix those
Yeah,
two.
that's right.
I'm obsessed with that one. That one's amazing. But and like this kind of goes like off of something like Nikki said with like with Rockstar, right? As a kid, kind of always dreamed of wanting to be like a rock star and stuff. But when you watch that film, you're like, this, not necessarily all like the hardcore, booze and stuff. I just noticed my hands doing that. That's cool. Anyway, I'm like, that would be the rock star life right there. I mean, the way he parties up on stage with Pour Some Sugar on Me and stuff. I honestly try to mimic some of those moves that he does in the movie because he did such a good job acting that I'm kind of jealous. He did so good.
You're jealous of Tom Cruise?
Dude,
Oh, of course.
I thought it was funny.
Legend.
His manager had to like lie to him. He'd tell him a gig was like 3 days later than it really was, just so he'd get there on time.
Right.
He was like, "You guys are early." He's like, "Actually, he thought the gig was last night. We're a day early." I was like, "Wait." Like he had no responsibility whatsoever until the very end of the movie, where you realize, oh, he was paying attention the whole time.
Yeah. What's great is that when he goes to do that, he's like, "Go ahead and start."
Yeah, the Rolling Stone interview.
Which that scene in general was quite nice, I will say. But anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Number 1, School of Rock.
School of Rock.
That one has a special place in my heart because that's that might have been my first rock film I watched ever. Jack Black for one, because I had him in Tenacious D as well. He's hilarious, but it's such a great film because he really learns how to it's a message of inspiring the youth to learn how to love and appreciate rock and roll music, and for people to break out of their shell. And it's just the small things in the film, like talking about rock history, rock appreciation, rock 101. You see little drawings on the board that say talking about diagrams talking about psychedelic rock versus metal and prog rock. I'm thinking, if I was ever a teacher, that's the type of teacher I'd want to be, which is not probably a good thing, but
no, that'd be great. It'd be a history lesson.
A rock teacher, it was awesome. And that the scene that always lives on great with me is the scene where his students are like, "Well, why didn't you play some of your own stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, you want to hear some of my stuff?
Play the song,
Right.
Stevie."
Yeah, play the song, Stevie. And he's like, starts singing a song about how he was kicked out of his own band and how and he was called "But the legend of the Rim was way hardcore." Boom! And he's envisioning his own stage show with the lights, lasers, pyro. I'm like, this man really gave it some thought, and I appreciate it. So
Yeah, but then they switched up to Zach's song, which was a better song.
It was a good song, yes, indeed, a lot better.
But what if they played his song instead of his?
Maybe they would have won the battle of the bands.
Maybe they would have won. Maybe they would have won.
Rock's not about winning, man. Sex Pistols never won anything.
This was supposed to be our Woodstock. Hey, Brittany, here I said step off.
Step out! Step out!
Well, I guess it's my turn. Okay. Well, it is now my
I
turn.
need to watch all these movies again. I've got School of Rock, and I don't have Rock of Ages, but I'm gonna have to go buy that or rent it or something.
Oh, I've got the Blu-ray. I'll bring it over one day.
Okay, please do.
This week to practice.
Yeah, I'll borrow it
Hey, how about we all just go to Nikki's house party and just watch Rock of Ages?
anytime you want.
That'll be fun.
Well, I guess it's my turn, so let's do it. What's number 5 for me? Light of Day.
good
Oh
one.
yes, very underrated movie. I actually was watching
Just
this
around
movie.
the corner to the light of day.
Dang. I was watching this movie like a few hours ago just to get it caught back in my mind because I haven't seen it in so long. But this movie, I have always loved this movie. One, it has Joan Jett in it and Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
You cannot argue with that.
Very cool combination.
Yeah, I know, right? Joan Jett, she does a fantastic job being this rebellious, mother. She has a son, but she cares so much about her music. She does not like her mom because her mom's a religious lady and she judges her and all that. But I've always enjoyed the story, and I've always found the chemistry with Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett actually quite cool. And I wish they did more movies together. I wonder what that would be like, actually. But the it was a little sad at the end. I mean, it was good that Joan Jett and her mom, got along and they made up and they got back together. But one thing I really would wish this movie would have explored more was that metal band she joined, the what they call the Huns. Yeah, the Huns.
Mm.
They should have explored more with the band because you didn't get to know who the Huns were. We just knew that they were a metal band. That's it. That's my only complaint. But that's a good movie, Light of Day.
Yeah.
So let's go to number 4.
In a long time.
Yeah. Trick or Treat.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice.
Actually, this so you know, this DVD I have in my hand is actually German.
Oh, nice.
I bought that movie on the internet. I bought it on the internet, and when I got it, I was like, yes, I get to watch this movie. I don't have to watch it on YouTube ever again. But it ended up speaking German, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. But this movie's great movie, great soundtrack. Fastway does such a great job with the soundtrack. And of course, Mark Price from Family Ties, one of my favorite sitcoms, is in it. And then, of course, the guy that played Sammy Kerr, who was a dancer for Michael Jackson, believe it or not. He did such a good job. But the one thing I always laughed about, he's supposed to be this very unstoppable entity, and he shocks people. But you know what shocked him? A toilet. I was like, huh, out of all the things that we could have...
Like,
I mean, I'm sitting there like, Sammy Kerr's supposed to be unstoppable, right? Why did a toilet stop him? Come on. He's supposed to be this unstoppable rock star.
Oh, Lord.
I also like the fact that they did a little, I don't want to say parody, but they did sort of a rerun montage thing with the PMRC and Rock and Roll with Dee Snider during the PMRC hearing. There's one scene where you see Sammy Kerr in court talking to the judge. The judge is like, if you were a parent, you would want your kid growing up in front of a bunch of rock star and pornography and all this stuff. And he's like, if you were a parent, would you want your kid growing up with politicians and all this? And then he starts arguing with the judge. And I'm just like, that was a little setback from the PMRC days.
Yeah.
That was cool. Then, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, who's a preacher in this movie, who dies by Sammy Kerr.
Yep.
It's like, that was controversial. And then Gene Simmons is in it as well.
Yeah.
He gets killed by Sammy Kerr.
His name's like Nuke or...
Yeah, he was a DJ. I can't remember.
DJ. Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a really good... It's a good, stupid movie to watch. I mean, the story's dumb. I mean, all it is the kid plays a record backwards and a ghost pops out of nowhere and says, you should be loyal to your heroes. And he starts killing people. And I'm just like... Well, this movie is stupidly awesome. Love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great soundtrack, great movie all in all. Definitely recommend watching that movie. What's number 3 for me? School of Rock. That movie's so popular. It must be an epic footnote on my epic butt. That's a quote. That was in the beginning of the movie when he gets kicked out of the band. Yeah. I had to agree with both of you guys. This Yeah, he's like, you got to be an epic footnote on my epic butt. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Bo. That this movie was a really good life lesson to the influence to youth on rock music and how to, get out of your shell. I also like the fact that he goes into a history about how we should all just give up because the man ruins everything. You should stick it to the man. Who's the man? Oh, you don't know who the man is? Miss Mullins? She's the man. Let's do yourself a favor. I like how he's like, yeah, you know what? We invented something called rock and roll, but guess what? Oh no, the man ruined that too with a little something called MTV. So just do yourself a favor and just give up. But School of Rock, yeah, it's a classic. Jack Black is just amazing, and he that's his own movie. Like he makes that movie his own.
Yeah,
so
no one else played that part.
Yeah, nobody could. Well, that's number 2. Spinal Tap. Oh, this must go up to 11. Well, why don't you just make 10 louder? Well, this goes to 11.
And the little Stonehenge that comes down.
Stonehenge, yep. Yeah. They make this. They're modeling the Stonehenge. Like, this is what we need. And then it comes down. It's tiny. All these leprechauns are dancing around. And I'm like, this movie, what's going on here? Honestly, I got to admit something. Spinal Tap, I love this movie, but I think some of their music is actually awesome. I enjoy some of their stuff.
Yeah. Big bottoms.
I actually got 2 of their albums, their little black album, and then the one with Stonehenge in it. And I'm just like,
Break the Wind or something.
Yeah,
like
Break
that.
the Wind. I think that's what it's called. I need to get the one that's called Shark Sandwich. I heard that one's really funny.
Is that an actual CD or is that just?
Yeah, it is. I actually looked them up to actually see if there were real CDs. Yeah, they've actually made their own CD. So I'm thinking of getting them.
I know they actually toured. They actually toured for a little bit.
They did. What's funny is, I don't know if you ever heard of the movie Clue. Have you ever heard of that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Well, one of the actors, I think, was the cop guy. He was one of the actors in Spinal Tap. I was like, I didn't know that. Yes, that one right there. I don't want to say the word.
Smell the glove. They had Smell the Glove was one of the
It smelled. Actually, I love the one scene in the album covers when they're all like, I think this album cover is sexist. And he's like, what's wrong with being sexy? Well, what is wrong with being sexy? It's all right. He's got a point.
Remember when they're like a 50s band too, and they're like, listen to what the flower people say.
I also like the fact they lose like how many drummers? 50.
Oh right. One
magically exploded, and he's like,
what happened? He just spontaneously combusted.
Best problems be unsolved, actually. Yes, classic movie, one of the best. I also, a little side note, Paul Shortino, that joined Quiet Riot and was also part of Rough Cut, was in this movie.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, he was the other rock star that walked in. He's like, hey, what's up, guys? And then they look at him and they walk away. And he's like, what a wanker. He hasn't made anything good. I forget what they said, but yeah, it's that guy. It's like, oh, that's Paul Shortino. They were making fun of Paul. But number 1 for me. Come on, boys. Rockstar.
Oh, man.
Stand up and shout. Yeah.
You know the one I actually really like is the song that he does at the end where they're recording in that studio and he's like screwing up on purpose because they didn't want to, he wanted them to do his songs.
Oh, yeah.
Like a little less than AC and I write the songs or whatever. Oh, and there's a funny phrase in that when he's doing that whole speech. He's like, the reason why they write the song, I'm paraphrasing, but the reason why they write the songs is because they don't want to end up like Rat, is what they said.
I don't remember that at all. Wait,
yeah,
they said that?
Rat. Yeah. If you listen to that part where he's talking about that, he's like, we could be, if one, what does it say? One fan turns to 2, which turns to 4, which turns to 6, and he's like, then we'll be playing half-empty halls like Rat.
Wow. That hurts.
Yeah, that was a pretty big dig. They must not. Maybe they must have asked them to be in the movie or something. And
Jeff
Jeff
Pilson. Jeff Pilson was technically in Rat in the beginning for a little bit.
Is that true?
Yeah, I believe so.
Cher, which
No,
was
wait, no. Yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, side note. Jeff Pilson joined Doc and Juan joined Rat. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Never know. Yeah.
But hey, the soundtrack's great. I mean, I got it right here.
Yeah. Oh, but that song at the end is called Reckless.
Oh, yeah.
There's a version
right here. I got
on YouTube. I don't think it's on the soundtrack.
Wait a minute, Trevor. No, it's not. You're right.
Yeah.
Thought I saw it for some reason.
Great song though. But I think you have to look on YouTube, and I don't know that it's the Steel Dragon Band recording that's on YouTube. But
I kind of like the one scene when he's officially meeting the guys, and then what's his face comes in. He's getting all pissed off at him, and then he like looks at him. He's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" He said, "Because I'm gay." You're gay?
We don't give. We don't give a bloody hell who you're talking or something like that. And then he's like, "You think you can be a rock star like me, huh?" He's like, "What did he say?" He's like,
he says like, "I am still dragon."
That wrong,
like,
do you? It's bed 11:30 every night. That's what it takes. Think you can do that? No, sir.
Takes off the wig.
Oh, like, you bastards.
I just like the fact that he just looks at him. He's like, "Did you actually listen to the lyrics? Do you actually think of who that is? Oh my gosh."
Give us a guy. And it also happens to be my lover.
Just so happens.
He's like, "You're gay?" "No, I got both my nipples pierced because I'm house." John Wayne or something. What's he saying?
Oh, I don't know why that was to me that was like one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah,
and also the fact that was sort of a call up to Judas Priest, because I could tell from that. But other than that, yeah, that was a great movie. Mark Wahlberg is such a good actor, and he nailed the Rockstar really well.
A good actor. I've seen a lot of his other movies. Like he's in like Shooter, and he's in some of those newer comedies.
Or is that Matt?
Oh yeah.
No, that's Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
He was in Daddy's Home, which was really fun. He plays a funny part in that.
I honestly think that he doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves. I think some people kind of say that he's not that good of an actor. I'm like, I think he's actually really good.
Yeah, I like him.
But then,
I never gave him crap for being Marky Mark in the Fun Mark Band or whatever, and being a lead singer in an '80s metal, movie or whatever. But he was like the perfect guy for that, I think.
Oh yeah. But then, of course, watch The Happening, and then you'll realize, have you seen that movie? My favorite scene. "You're here to kill me, aren't you?" "What? No." That's Mark Wahlberg actually saying that, and I'm just like, who says it like that? What? No.
I was watching the movie Bird Box one day, and I'm like, this is literally The Happening. Like, what is this?
It's Shyamalan. That's what it is. Well, hey, Nikki, if you do ever watch The Happening, consider an hour of your life taken away. It's a terrible movie, but funny.
Some honorable mentions here in the comments. Kiss Me, Phantom of the Park.
Yep, good movie. Well,
good movie.
Stupidly funny.
Someone else said Detroit Rock City, which I also do like that movie. I just, it's not my favorite movie, but I'm a huge Kiss fan. I love anything to do with Kiss. There's a lot of cool stuff in that. Actually, my favorite Kiss related movie is the Scooby-Doo one. The rock and roll.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of deep stuff in that. That's actually really cool if you're a Kiss fan.
I kind of find it funny in the newer Scooby-Doo Kiss episode, because there's like another one with Kiss in it, but it's funny, like all the girls that they meet is named after a song. I'm Strutter. I am the band's agent. I'm Beth. Or the big old guy who happened to be like the elder. I'm like, I am the elder. I was like, you're talking Scooby-Doo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about the Scooby. All the girls are named after. I know the songs are named after girls, but I'm talking about in the cartoon, all the security people are named after songs. I just found that like, wow, that's great. And also the fact that Paul Stanley couldn't remember Fred's name.
Yeah, that was all their voices, which was pretty cool.
Yep, they all participated in it. Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer, and Paul and Gene did as well.
There's a scene where they like show, it's kind of like the talisman or whatever, like a little, I can't remember what it is, like it's a table or something, and it's got all these little icons on it. And if you pause it and look at it and try to figure out what they all are, there's a really, really deep one. There's a Fig sitting there, and that's Anton Fig, who played on Dynasty.
Oh, really?
Place of Peter, but Peter was on the front cover of it. But Anton Fig was the guy that played on that, and I think that's what that reference is.
Oh, hey,
let's
see. Brittany here asked about the Dirt.
Yeah, so let's do this.
Let's talk about the Dirt.
Yeah, let's go to best biopics. So, what biopics are out there? Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
There's a Dirt. The Def Leppard story that nobody really
one is that Hysteria.
Yeah, the Hysteria Def Leppard story. Nobody talks about that one very much.
That was like a VH1 movie. I remember watching it.
Yeah, it was a good movie. There's also The Rocket Man, if you want to consider that one.
Yeah. Elton John, yeah.
The one I really like is The Doors. They did a movie on The Doors.
Yeah. Another good one would be The Runaways. The Runaway movie.
Runaways, yeah. Yeah,
that was a good one.
I watched that one. Trying to think of what other biopics there are like that. They could do so many good ones. Like I really think a Kiss one, which I guess is in the works, but would be a really, really good movie.
Actually, Nick, speaking of Kiss, guess what I have in my hand? A DVD of the Egyptian god.
The Egyptian Ankh warrior?
Yes.
This
is a doc. Well, it's more of a bunch of interviews from Vinnie Vincent when he was in the makeup. I kind of saw it on Amazon. I was like, oh, I got to get that.
Awesome.
And with Vinnie in it. I mean, I love Vinnie. I know a lot. I know he's Vinnie, but hey, I love Vinnie.
Yeah. So if I had to go with best biopics, it'd be down to two, but I think I know which one my favorite one is. It would be Bohemian Rhapsody by the Queen movie or The Dirt by Motley Crue. What did you guys think of The Dirt?
For me personally, I'm a big Motley Crue fan. You all know that because I have them in the background. I talk about them all the time. Yeah. I actually like the movie more than Bohemian Rhapsody. I think the movie tried very well to explain the story of Motley Crue. The only complaint I had about it, and again, I know it was for time, but I wish they would have added more of their stories.
Yeah,
and all that. I think there was more stories. Just like the book, because the book shows a lot more. I think I would have liked it a lot more, but I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I gave it a scale of 1 to 5. 1 to 10. I gave it a 7.
Okay. A 7 out of 10. That's your favorite one?
Yeah, I would say so. Bohemian Rhapsody, I would give it a 7 too. But the reason I put Dirt so higher up there is just because I'm a big Motley Crue fan. So call me biased.
Yeah,
but I'm a big Queen fan as well.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, T?
See, I like Motley Crue's music more than I do Queen's, and that's not, but just by a little, because I've always been a big hair metal person, but I love Queen's music. Film wise, I think Bohemian Rhapsody was a better film. I think it took it to a much higher level, like in terms of like emotional. Well, that's kind of hard to say because there's a lot of emotional stuff in the Dirt too, especially the scene with Vince's daughter. But the transitions between scenes were much better. The focus on the acting was much better in Bohemian Rhapsody.
I would agree on that.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The one I've watched more of though, I've watched The Dirt more. In all honesty, just because I love the comedy in it and I love the music in it. But I would say Bohemian Rhapsody. I would say I'd place that one above The Dirt because I think all around it is a better film, and they projected the story of Freddie Mercury in such a good light, and they didn't show all the rougher edges of his life. They made it more a celebration of his life, and I really respected that. I didn't know what they were going to do with the film. It was so respectful how they gave reverence and respecting Freddie Mercury, and it wasn't just a film about Freddie Mercury. Yes, obviously, centered highly around him, but it was about his band as well, which I really appreciated that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you got more than you, well, at least for me, I got more than what I was expecting out of it. I was excited for it when I saw the trailer for it. I'm like, I'm gonna go see this.
We all were.
Immediately. I dressed up like Freddie Mercury and went to the theater and go.
We went. Yeah.
Nikki's got picks.
I think it was
fun.
One of my favorite scenes from Bohemian Rhapsody was actually there's like two of my favorite scenes, but one, it's a minor scene, is where Roger Taylor's getting all mad and he gets ready to throw he throws everything and he gets ready to throw I forget what it was, but they're all like, no, not the coffee machine or whatever it was. And of course,
one of my favorite moments in that movie is when they're at that house and they're recording Bohemian Rhapsody, the album or whatever. And
right.
He's over there at the piano or whatever, and he's like, you could see he's starts writing down something, and I think that's like the beginning before they actually record Bohemian Rhapsody, the song, and it's like he was like coming up with it right there. I don't know, that part always gives me like goosebumps. Like, oh, that's cool,
Well, geez, how many Galileos do you want?
Yeah.
Actually, what's interesting, Nikki? I was at school last week. We were talking about audio engineering stuff because that's what my school wants me to learn, why I'm doing radio stuff. But my teacher showed me some behind the background stuff of Bohemian Rhapsody, and you actually get to hear like stuff that you can't really hear in the song. And there was one part I discovered was one of the producers counting. He was saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I heard Brian May doing a few guitar licks that didn't really match the song. It's actually kind of cool. I should show it to you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Yeah.
It's like a little historic, like, hey, it's like I'm digging through history.
Yeah. Josh, did you see either movie?
Oh, he hasn't.
I'm big in vinyl.
Is that the vinyl? Yeah.
Yeah, so also one of 90 that are autographed, or Rock of Ages. Rock of Ages is it's my favorite movie of all time, not just rock movie. But I loved T-Bone hit it right on the head though. The story of Freddie Mercury was told when I initially saw this, I was like, they're just gonna. I thought they were gonna completely bury this guy. This is gonna be one of those movies where they kind of talk about his personal life too much and all this stuff. But when it got to the point where he sung at Live Aid, it was like, dude, you get those goosebumps kind of thing, and it's like, yep. I think I had to look up the guy's name. Rami Malek was amazing as Freddie Mercury.
He was.
My favorite part of the movies when they're talking to that guy and they're like, yeah, we want to do Bohemian Rhapsody. And he's like, dude, that's a 7-minute song. And he's like, well, F off then. And then he throws, what's he throw through his window?
It was like a brick or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to regret the day you turned down Queen or whatever.
Yeah.
It shows a scene of him looking at the TV. I'm like, yep.
I love the reference in that. I don't know if you caught it, but that's Mike Myers, that guy, sitting at the table. And he's like, they're like, Bohemian Rhapsody is going to be the first single. And he's like, that's not the song that kids are going to be in their car headbanging to or whatever. And in Wayne's World, Mike Myers and
that makes
that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Also, I like the fact that in that scene when they're arguing, the guy was all like, "Why don't we have the song I'm in love with my car?" That's right. And Roger Taylor's face like, "Hey." I feel sorry for Roger. He tried really hard to get that single. He just couldn't get it. Hey, I think "I'm in Love with My Car" is actually a good song. I don't think it's a bad song.
I think I listened to it after watching that movie, and I don't remember too much from it from that listen. But
Yeah, I thought
I
his
think I listened to
Live
that whole album all the way through. It is a really good album.
Aid, I think his Live Aid was really, really good.
Oh, that recreation of Live Aid was insane.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really
Dead
good.
on. Dead
That's
on.
kind of my thing with movies, like
Yeah.
with Rock of Ages, and when I can relate to the soundtrack, like Get 'Em to the Greek, Rock of Ages, and this, I'll legitimately sit around and listen to the sound. It's still on my phone. Like I got Apple Music, whatever. I still listen to them on shuffle all the time. I got a rock playlist. They're all on there. And then I'll come home and watch the movie, which I'm probably going to watch Bohemian Rhapsody tonight now that we're talking about it.
Oh, it's such a great movie. My
All
two
we
cents
hear
on
is-
that, I wasn't necessarily I liked Queen, but I wasn't I didn't know all their stuff. I still don't, but after watching that movie, I was just like, dude, these guys are awesome. So it gave me a whole new perspective on Queen and Freddie Mercury. And while I'm sure that story is very cleaned up and doesn't tell 100% truth or side of who he was as a person, the story that they did tell was really, really cool. That's kind of my thing with biopics. I want them to be 100% accurate.
Yeah, you want them to,
but I know that they can't always be to make a good movie.
I mean, there's one example I actually caught from The Dirt. The part where Doc McGee got fired.
Right.
That's not how he got fired. He got fired during the time when Bon Jovi and Scorpions, all of them came. But I guess that was all due time. It's like, hey, yeah, we gotta take you down.
They had to make it work.
Right. They did.
The Dirt was completely the opposite of what the Queen movie was. The Dirt was, let's just see how raunchy we can make this thing.
Yes.
And, so that that's a different perspective, I guess. And
I also like the fact in The Dirt that they break the fourth wall several times.
Yeah, they do.
Doc McGee punches this one dude, and then the guy playing Mick Mars just looks at the camera and says, "This isn't how it happened." I was like, what the?
I do like the Mick Mars character in that movie.
He did such a good job, especially when the Emma just mentioned him. Machine Gun Kelly, who played Tommy, he was just like,
great job.
Oh, he did great. Yeah, I gained a lot of respect for Machine Gun Kelly when I saw him do that.
Yeah.
But when he said, "How old are you, Mick?" F you effing teenager. I was like, that's Mick Mars.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this weird old dude.
I love this weird little guy.
Oh yeah.
I like how this girl's like, "You in a band? What band?" It's like,
remember when David Lee Roth was on their couch and something fell on him and he's like,
something fell on him.
What?
Well, it's funny actually. They tell a story about that. Apparently, the real story was that a cop broke down the door and it smacked David Lee Roth, but it didn't faze him at all.
Oh, so that's partly true.
It's sort of true. Because a fan never did that, but what can they do? They had to do with time.
Yeah.
I also like the fact. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Right.
I took it for what it was and not what it could have been.
Right.
But could it have been better? Sure. Yeah. In fact, some people think it should have been.
Ozzy's parts got me. In that
yeah. The guy that played Ozzy. Wow. He did such a good job.
I think the guy that played Nikki Sixx did a really good job.
Yes.
I thought it was good. Maybe my second as well.
Yeah.
I like how the fact that when the guy coming in playing Ozzy, he's like, "Hey guys, here, take the money. It's a little free piggy bank. Come on, take it." And he starts snorting the ants, and they're all worshiping him, like, "You're a god, dude." I'm like, "You guys are idiots."
Yeah.
Come have a talk with your uncles.
But for me, I'm going Queen over that, but just slightly.
Yes. Again, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Queen movie better. The real life stories, I'd probably like the Motley Crue real life stories probably better. I haven't read The Dirt. I need to get that one of these days and read it.
Do you have the book?
No.
Oh, I should give it. I should let you borrow mine. I have it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Heroin Diaries too, as well, right? I saw you.
I read the Heroin Diaries.
The Heroin Diaries and the Dirt are really connected.
Are they? Okay.
Oh yeah, like when you get to the part where Nikki is, in his crazy overdose heroin days, you can combine both of the stories and kind of see, like, oh yeah, I know where that's happening.
Yeah. Huh.
I also, in fact, love the soundtrack of the Dirt. I mean, it's a lot of Motley Crue songs, but it's 3 new other songs.
I didn't like any of those new songs. Did you?
I like, well, me being a diehard Motley Crue fan, yes and no.
Yeah.
The song "Like a Virgin" is probably my least favorite song.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I don't know why Nikki had the vision of doing that. I don't know what he was thinking.
It was a cool idea, but
yeah,
I didn't care for the version.
For what it is, I like it because I like the band.
Yeah.
The other song, the Dirt song, that I like it. That was a good song, I thought.
There's like 3 songs called The Dirt, right?
Well, there's The Dirt, and then there was why can I not remember the other song? It will come to me. But I thought all 3 songs were pretty good for what they are. But I think The Dirt was probably the best out of the soundtrack.
Yeah,
that's just me. But why did he do Like a Virgin? We'll never know.
Don't know. Either way, it's cool to hear Motley Crue recording new music.
Now, have you guys seen the Def Leppard story?
Yeah. I watched it a long time ago. Yeah.
Band, so now I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. I didn't even know they had.
Oh, they do. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but you can look it up, or you can just call me up and I'll let you borrow my DVD because I have it.
I've seen a clip of it, actually. I saw a clip of it on YouTube one time, but I didn't see the film.
Yeah. Acting wise, it was okay. I mean, I don't know who the actors were, but they did an okay job. It started off with the band in the early days on through the night days with Pete Willis and all that. So I thought it was cool that they had Pete Willis in there introduced. So I don't know. It was all in all decent movie.
I've heard people talk bad about it, but I thought it was decent when I watched it.
I think the problem was that the fact that it was too short and they kept going through each era like super quick. Like we didn't get enough time to really get to know what was going on with Pete Willis. Like we knew he was having a problem, but you just saw him like, oh yeah, he had an alcohol problem. Now we kick him out. Next era, that's it. But other than I think it was a good movie. It was good to see how they brought in Phil Collin and all that, and also bringing up the Terror Twins and Rick Allen having recovering from his one arm. So yeah, good movie. Yeah. What did you guys think? I'm rambling.
No, I thought the same thing. I always thought that scene where his car flips and his arm gets ripped off or whatever was pretty intense. Yeah, I mean, I liked it in general from what I remember. I mean, it's been probably 10, 15 years since I've seen it.
You know what? Let's all go to Nikki's house and just watch a bunch of rock movies.
Rock movie party, dude. Some popcorn and.
Thank you, Brittany. Crash and Burn. Yes.
Zero sugar, A&W root beer.
Dude, I didn't even know that existed. I've been drinking zero
it's
sugar.
Really good.
Zero sugar Mountain Dew.
I've been drinking the zero sugar watermelon Mountain Dew. It's pretty good.
Dude, that's really good.
Yeah.
I bought it because they were out of this, and I was like, I have to get something because I hate regular diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
So you're drinking Mountain Dew. He's drinking root beer. You're eating pizza. I have a lightsaber.
Mountain Dew, Pepsi, and we're good. There we are.
Pepsi Man. Yeah.
All right. So who are we giving this best biopic to?
Well, I think it's going to be Bohemian Rhapsody. Sadly, I want it to be The Dirt, but we've all talked very positive things more on the Bohemian Rhapsody. So I think, and personally, I think Bohemian Rhapsody. But what do you guys say?
I say this.
I had a 15 Miller.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
What do we have for Johnny?
Biopic.
Thank you, Kyle.
He said I had 15 Miller Lights.
Man, we're
only 15 lightweight.
I'm drinking wine.
Y'all, it's Tuesday.
Okay, we're giving best biopic to Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. What about best documentary?
Ooh.
So I'll tell you a couple of my favorites. I like Decline of the Western Civilization, Part 2, The Metal Years. Have you ever seen
Good.
that?
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good document.
Really good
Love it.
On all the 80s bands and like some bands that didn't make it that were on the Sunset Strip. And they also talked to a bunch of bands that did. There's that famous scene where Chris Holmes is in the pool and he's downing a bottle of is it Jack Daniels or vodka?
I think it was vodka, if I remember correctly.
Vodka, yeah, and his mom's sitting there like.
Have you actually seen the newer interview of him in that pool?
I heard
like,
that he has
now?
one. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, like he's sobered up. He says a lot of cool things in the interview, but in the beginning, man, he was so funny because the girl was like, "So how did you overcome your drinking?" It's like, "What do you mean? I got to drink water. It's healthy for you." I was like, "Wow, Chris."
Yeah.
But yeah, great. That's a great documentary.
He's got a new documentary out actually. It's called Mean Man.
Really, I have not seen that.
Yeah, I've been
I'll have to watch that.
I just watched The Rock Camp. Have you seen that?
I have not.
That's actually a pretty cool documentary.
So what's that one about?
Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes and kind of like documents that whole process. It definitely is a ad for doing that. So I'm like, I need to learn how to save my money and go do that because a couple people got the jam with Paul Stanley, and I would literally probably die. So. What else? What else we got? Document. Oh, you know what? One I really like is Lemmy. Have you seen the Lemmy documentary?
Oh yes, that is a very good documentary.
Yeah, it's really good. Follows him around and in his house. He's a cool dude. I really enjoy the documentary.
Now, what do you think of all the behind the music documentaries? I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but I enjoy watching them because they do talk about the rise and the falling of the bands and how they come back.
All of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of them growing up.
I got the Motley Crue behind the music, but yeah, I've seen almost every single one. I think the only one I have not seen yet is the Megadeth one.
Okay.
I guess it's because I'm afraid what he's going to say, but
yeah, this is a good one too. Very good one.
Oh yes, Anvil.
Yeah. That was a really good one. If you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. Chris Jericho just produced one called "We're Too Old for This Shit."
I have not heard about that one. I don't see that.
Yeah, it's about a metal band from the 80s called Siren. And they haven't toured in a long time. So he was like helping them get on like a festival and play, and they had to like book their own flights and do all this kind of stuff. And apparently it's a really good documentary. I need to watch it. But Casey brings up a good point. A lot of bands had home videos back in the day.
Yes.
Like Kiss, is it Kiss? Which one am I thinking of? Where they're at their house? Is it Exposed or Confidential?
Is it Kiss? I don't think it was Exposed. I think it was Confidential, if I remember correctly.
I think it's Exposed, but
was it?
Yeah, where they go to his house and the reporter comes to the door and he's like,
yes, it was Exposed. You're right. Okay. Yes, and then they take him inside and they see all this crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
one I've been wanting to watch is "Oh Say Can You Scream." It's the Skid Row home video, and I've been wanting to watch that, but I don't have it. Yeah, Exposed was the parody one. That's my favorite one. Confidential is that like around the Revenge?
Yeah, that's right. I think it was from the.
Oh no, it's Lifestyles.
Oh, thank you, Brittany.
Like, I thought you were gonna be here at 12 o'clock. Yeah, 12 o'clock. He's like, I thought you meant midnight or something like that. And then he does the whole thing where they're down at the this is Paul Stanley I'm talking about. They're at the breakfast table, and he's eating cereal and he pours root beer into his cereal. He said, root beer, not milk. Root beer.
You must have root beer.
But
wait, have you ever seen Paul Stanley's workout?
Yeah. Well, that's at the isn't that at the end of that Exposed?
I don't remember, but I do remember watching it to see what it was like, and I'm just like, this is weird.
It's funny.
Not as funny as him, in a bed with a bunch of chicks and talking to an interviewer and Decline of Western Civilization.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
That's probably my favorite documentary, I guess, if you consider that a documentary. Do you guys have any favorite documentaries?
Like I told you before, I think the behind the music stuff is great. I also love Rise and Rise of Motley Crue. But I think my favorite documentary would be Decline of Western Civilization. That one was just funny.
Yeah.
And the fact that in the beginning they're showing a bunch of those PMRC ladies, showing the devil's horn and seeing what it means and what it symbolizes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is stupid. And then they have a program that demetalizes people. Like, they really have a program for that?
Yeah.
To demetalize
They show a very young Faster Pussycat in there.
Yes, Faster Pussycat was in it. That was like one of my favorite bands at the time when I was getting into them. So, yeah.
Any to note from you guys at all? Any documentaries that you like a lot?
I'm trying to think of what the name of this one was. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a bunch of rock documentaries. I've watched a few, but the one.
That's a good one.
Yes, Zebra Man.
Yes, it's Tiger King, actually. That's what we're talking about. Tiger King. No.
The Tiger. Oh, my gosh.
See, I mean, to be fair, he does sing in that show.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's a country star, right?
He's a country star. It's not wrong, but hey.
Yeah.
And damn Carol Baskin, right? But on that, no, the one I was thinking of actually was it was a Twisted Sister one. It's on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Sister or something like that.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was very interesting. And one of my favorite parts was when they talk about when they were one of the first times they played, not like in front of a small live audience, but when they had like a big show at like a festival or something. The crowd was like booing them so
Oh
much.
yes. Yeah.
The crowd just wasn't having it, and then they're like, "Oh, what are they throwing up on stage at us?" Apparently, somebody, to put it nicely, somebody defecated, put it into their hand, and threw it up on stage at him. So what did they do? I'm pretty sure, didn't they throw it right back at him or something?
I don't remember. I remember Lemmy coming in and telling him, like, give these guys a chance.
Yes.
I remember Dee Snider's comment on that. He's like, how much do you have to hate a band to shit and then throw it at them?
I remember my favorite part of that documentary. Also, before I say that, Emma here says her favorite documentary is the life story of Wayne Newton.
I'd have to check that one out.
Yes. But anyway,
all I know
favorite
is Vacation.
My favorite part of that documentary was the part where they were talking about them that used to perform in this club, and it was apparently the club that where it was the John Travolta movie, with the disco movie. I forget what it's called.
Oh, Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, thank you, Saturday Night Fever. The owner was like losing money or something, so they told the band to destroy it, and they like destroy the entire club, and then they were just the band that destroys everything. So that was my favorite part. It's like they destroyed the Saturday Night Live Fever. I guess disco really did suck.
So best doc, are we going with Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years?
That's for me, and
you'll love that.
See what T-Bone.
I
got it.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Hey T-Bone, you don't live very far from me. I got it. I'll walk to your house right now and give it to you.
All right, now we're talking movie knowledge. Seabass. Yeah.
All right.
I got school tomorrow.
That one wins best documentary.
All right, best documentary.
Okay, I think the last one we got is best rock star actor or actress. So the best rock star that was in a movie as an actor or actress playing a part. So, for example, Ozzy was in that Trick or Treat. Gene Simmons has been in a lot of movies. He was in Never Too Young to Die, Runaway. all not the greatest movies.
Right.
I like them.
Oh, I think.
What's the one where he's a hermaphrodite
Oh,
or transvestite or something?
that was Never Too Young to Die.
Is that Never
with,
Too Young to Die?
with John Stamos.
Yeah.
That's the only. I only watched that movie because of John Stamos.
Runaway
not because
was
of
good. Runaway was pretty good.
Oh yeah, Runaway was great. Never Too Young to Die was good, but stupid. But it got my eye because of John Stamos. I didn't realize that was Gene when I first watched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's Gene Simmons."
Oh yeah, he's like a terrorist or something. And
yeah, he's like this half man, half woman trying to steal the water supply from the.
Be a woman like me, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. There's actually one song off that movie I'm trying to find on YouTube, but it doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's called Fire Up the Night, and I can't find it. It has no idea what I'm talking about, but that's like my favorite song off the movie.
I just watched a movie with Jared Leto. Was he an actor first, or was he a singer first?
I think he was a singer, then an actor.
He was a singer first.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe he
He did a
was.
really good job. It was called The Little Things. He was just basically being like a really creepy dude, and he played that part dead on. Like, dude was, you get chill, you get like all weird feeling when you watch when he would come up, on the screen. What's that?
He's got a hell of a voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jack Black counts, right?
Jack Black counts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's technically a rock.
I typed into Google best rock performances in rock stars in movies. The first thing that popped up on the site was Eminem. The second was Beyonce, and I was like, I don't know what they like. This is not what I was asking.
That's hilarious.
I must have missed Eminem's rock album.
Well, there's 8 Mile, but I don't consider that rock. It's a rap movie.
Alice Cooper did some horror movies back in the.
He did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Actually, Dave just brought one up.
Alice Cooper, Prince of Darkness.
And
he did one where he was like a
Zombie too, right?
Rob Zombie directed a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He directed a lot. He wasn't in them.
I think he made a cameo appearance in one of his movies. And then, of course, don't forget the cameo appearance with Alice Cooper in Nightmare on Elm Street 9. That was a good one. He played Freddy's father, and he starts abusing the crap out of the kid Freddy, and I'm like, wow.
But Michael was in a movie. He was in Letter from Death Row.
That's right. Yes, I forgot about that.
Funny thing to bring up. I don't know if you've caught on to this at all, but all those rock stars, Ozzy, Gene, Brett, what do they have in common?
They all like to dress weird.
A lot of money and lots of women.
That too.
Fair enough. Any guesses?
Let's see.
All three of them, took up acting right back in the 80s or 90s or whatever, and they all had reality shows.
Yes, they did. Very true. There's the Brett
I think
Michaels.
the reality shows were an act.
Gene Simmons, Family Jewels, Brett Michaels. What was the other reality shows with?
Osbourne's was Ozzy.
Yeah, the Osbournes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any reality shows in a long time. Need to go back and watch some. On the side note, well, what's your opinion, Nikki? Who do you think is the best rock star / actress person? It's a hard pick. I can't even pick right now.
I know that she doesn't necessarily fit the genre or whatever, but I think Lady Gaga is the best rock. I mean, she's a rock star, in my opinion, and she killed it in A Star Is Born. So if I'm going like, I know that's more like famous musician. I know she's not like an 80s rock star, but she's a shock rock kind of a pop singer. I would say that she gave the best performance in a movie.
Well, let's see. Dave actually brought up a good movie that I totally forgot about. Dee Snider's Strangeland.
Yeah.
Great movie, I thought. In fact, completely opposite from one of the scenes where he tortures Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger.
Also,
Yes, growing up, twisted with D. Snyder. That's another good one.
Took up acting, reality show.
Yep.
Oh yeah, super group or what were they called? It was on VH1. I remember that show. And the dude from Biohazard was on bass.
Crap. Yeah, I know who's that is.
Called?
Can't remember.
I think the show was called Super Group or something like that. I can't remember what they called the band. But that seems like that would have been the most cool band ever, you know?
It would be, especially with Sebastian Bach being the singer.
Yeah. You guys got anybody for best rock star actor?
Well, this is for me now. Thanks to Dave, I seriously have to go with D. Snyder. I think he's a great actor. I mean, underrated. I know he doesn't do much acting anymore, but I thought this movie Strangeland was pretty good. Yeah. So I think he's probably one of the best. But if you also want to go with another guy, I would say Mark Wahlberg, if you count him.
Oh,
because I wanted to say him because I think he did a great job mimicking the rock star look and the rock star life.
Yeah.
So that's me. What do you guys say?
That's a tough one.
That was a tough one.
If I was thinking like what people like say in the 80s or like the 70s, 80s, the rock music that were actually things. I don't think you could count I mean, you possibly could count them. I mean, they're not a real rock group, but technically the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah, the Blues Brothers. Yeah,
that's a rock and roll movie, I guess. Blues rock and roll. Yeah. Democracy. Damn, dude.
Thank you, Dave.
That was Democracy. This guy's on it. This guy is on it.
We need to bring this guy to the show one day.
I know. Next show we have that includes some sort of a topic. We have to get a hold of him and bring him on.
And he always brings something up.
Yeah.
There was a movie in the 80s. It was a John Carpenter film. I think it was his sequel to his original film, John Carpenter's Vampires. I don't know if it was just called Vampires 2 or something. I don't know. But Bon Jovi did the
yes. I forget who. Somebody mentioned it actually. Forget who mentioned that.
Oh yeah, Dorian Hollis.
There it is. Yep, was in one of those vampire movies.
Johnny Depp. Does that count?
Yeah, he was. He was a musician,
rock star, right?
Yeah,
that could work.
I sold my money's
in
still
that
on.
Case, I would think Johnny Depp would have to win that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I think he would. Yeah, I would say if we put him in that category.
Well, is that what we're going with?
Well, my money's still on Mark Wahlberg and D. Snyder.
Which are fair. Those are good. Those are good.
But yeah, Johnny Depp's a good choice. I mean, he does a really good job with pulling off the rock star look. I totally forgot that he was a musician once, and he does a good job playing guitar.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the Hollywood Vampires with Alice and
Alice Cooper.
Perry.
Yeah, he does a really good job. I was very impressed with him.
Yeah.
Denise says Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you guys say? You gonna say Johnny Depp?
I'm letting you call it, Seabass. This is your call.
My call? Okay. What do you want to do with your guys' life? I want to rock. D. Snyder.
All right. D. Snyder wins Best Rock Star Actor, Actress.
Yes. Woo-hoo. She's an actress?
Wait, if we're doing actor, actress, I guess that would be Gene Simmons, right?
Good. Good.
Oh, shoot. Scott Ryan says Jason Momoa is a killer bass player. I didn't know that.
Meatloaf. Yeah, he was in a couple of movies. Like Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's one movie I can think of off my head.
I was thinking Meatloaf a little bit early because he was in Tenacious D as well at the beginning of that film. And the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah.
I think it's funny though that in Tenacious D he's the abusive father, and then of course in Rocky Horror Picture Show he gets killed by a transvestite. Imagine if that was Gene Simmons instead of Frankenfurter.
Right.
Rocky.
Rocky, what the heck do you want? Oh, by the way, T-Bone, Nikki has never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. We need to get him to watch it.
Oh, that's
Like,
movie
we have a
night.
day plan now, right? Like, I mean, we
Yeah,
have
we
like
got to get this.
movies we gotta watch.
Yeah, we got to watch a lot of movies. Just so you know, Nikki, when we watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, you're probably going to hear me literally yelling at the TV because you're supposed to make fun of the movie.
I'll show you the dance moves. I'll show you how to do the time warp and everything.
You know what?
Jump to the left.
Put your hands on your hips or someone else's. That's what they say. When you're at a movie theater, you literally make fun of the movie. You start throwing toast and everything at the actors. It's great. So bring toast.
My parents said when they went to see that movie in like the 70s that they would do all that stuff. Like people would throw toast and everything.
Really?
Rice and everything in the theater and just make a complete mess.
Wow.
And then when you leave the movie, you are no longer a virgin or something.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I've never seen that one.
Yep, we're gonna get this. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna go to his house, or he goes to our house, and we'll watch it.
We'll do a watch along where we record our reactions to the whole thing.
Oh, that would be neat, actually.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's do that.
Josh, have you ever seen it?
Nope.
Yeah.
You never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show? Okay. Yes, T-Bone. What should we do?
Oh, good honorable mention right there. I've never seen that either.
Yes, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. Yes.
The Who's what quadrophilia?
Quadrophenia and Tommy.
Yeah.
You know, another rock film I didn't mention. Like
We're not alone. We're not alone.
Oh, we see, you go watch it too.
Cody, you're coming over to Nikki's house. We're gonna record everybody's reaction to the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show who has never seen it. And me and T-Bone are gonna be in the background just yelling at the TV for like no reason.
No reason at all. I'll be singing the whole song.
Let's do the time war begin.
You know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should see if we could get like a venue, like JD Legends or something, and literally have Rocky Horror Picture Movie Night with That Arena Rock Show, the podcast.
I will do the outfit. I have no shame.
With people while it's getting our reactions on the screen.
Now, hey, Nikki, here's a question for that because that's a great idea. But can I be one of the characters? Can I play Rocky? Or I can't play Rocky. I'm not buff enough. Who should I play? Should I play as? Maybe I should play as Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott.
Oh, you know what? I really like the Monkeys documentary. This isn't.
The Monkeys. Head does the count. Yes.
I guess that kind of counts, right?
Yeah, that counts.
VH1 I really liked back in the day. I can't remember what it was called. But,
yeah.
Another favorite rock film I've always liked is Led Zeppelin's Song Remains the Same.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's mostly just a lot of them just playing Madison Square Garden, but I believe that was the venue. But it's got some movie aspects to it as well, but that's one of my favorites.
Denise Clark has said, yes, Seabass. What's she saying yes to me about? That I'm dressing up as one of the characters?
We'll put you in a wheelchair and call you Dr. Scott.
Yeah, then I'll get up and start dancing, doing this thing. Janet, Brad,
yeah. Never seen that myself.
Yes, that.
Oh,
okay. You know, I don't consider that. I don't know if I consider it a documentary, but you know, when I first saw that movie, I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like, why is everything animated all of a sudden? Did I miss something? And then, of course, I found out I had to be high to watch the movie, but I don't do drugs, so I couldn't get it. It took me so long to understand it.
This would also be a fun watch along right here.
Yes, meets Fan of the Park. Yep, good movie.
Child.
Hey. And what do you think? What do you think, Spaceman? Insufficient data at the moment, Star Child. Actually, my favorite part that's so funny. The part where they're telling that Gene was the one that took down the cops, and those two cops never got touched by Gene. That's the funny part. But they're also Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley's like, easy cat, man. They are serious. And they got guns. No, Ace, they have squirt guns. What else do you think they have? Highly improbable.
Oh, that's awesome. Like his one major line in the movie, right?
He complained about it too. Gene's mother was an only child. It was him. He's the one, all right. Almost tore my arm off.
I like how the fake kiss is playing Rip and
Destroy.
Rip instead of Hotter Than Hell.
Destroy. That's from one of their demos that they never release.
It's a what's the actual song? It's da 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 da.
Hotter Than Hell.
No, she's gonna leave you well done.
Oh, you're talking about Hotter Than Hell.
Yeah, hotter than hell. Yeah, it's just they changed it to rip
and destroy. I also like in the scene where they're trying to get the talisman back. If you have the this original DVD, they're doing this. They're trying to use the Force, trying to get the talisman to come to them. And I'm like, use the Force, Kiss.
Yeah.
Use the Force.
Oh yeah, Ace Frehley had a stunt double in that movie.
Yes, who was a black guy.
It was a black guy. Yeah.
and one of the fighting, you can actually tell if you pause it just right. But when he does the backflip, that's when you pause it. You kind of look at the hands. You'll notice, it's a black guy.
He's got tan.
hey, look, that was the best stunt double ever. The black guy pulling off Ace Frehley? I give him props.
Yeah, he should have won an award.
He should have. Ace Frehley talks very highly of him, actually.
Does he? Well, I think that's it. We've been on here for an hour and 47 minutes.
Wow. We've been sitting here rambling on about movies and classics.
Movies, yeah.
You guys, thank you for tuning in and everything. And yes, we're going to try to do a reaction video to all of us watching Rocky Horror Picture Show and a bunch of other movies we can't think of at the moment. What do you say, Nikki? T-Bone, Josh?
I think we need to go on vacation and do it.
Cool. I'll bring the popcorn.
Yeah, we definitely need some popcorn.
Actually, you got the popcorn. Who am I? What am I?
That's true.
Yes, the
popcorn maker.
I'll bring my popcorn maker.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to Lashley and see if we can't pull that off.
That's how he bribes me to get me over to practice. He's like, "Hey, T-Bone, I'm making popcorn. All right, I'm there. I'll be there early for once. Like I'll actually show up."
Right.
It's like, hey, the only way you can get T-Bone to come into rehearsal on time is just call him up for popcorn, and he'll come.
Hey, it's
just
popcorn.
Free food and I'm there.
He shows up. I'm like,
you call him up. It's like, hey, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to get off of work here. Give me some time. We got popcorn. I'm coming.
Well, all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. This has been fun. It's literally an episode that we just kind of wung, and it was actually a lot of fun. So thank you, Josh, for the idea. And thanks to everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us on this Tuesday night. And toast, water bottles, newspapers for Rocky. All right, we'll bring it all. We'll bring it all. We don't care.
Wish I had toast right now. I could throw some toast on my computer.
Well, I guess till next time in 2 weeks. That Arena Rock Show signing off. Huh?
Take care. Keep rocking. You can't see me.
I love how